right, hello everybody. Had to connect to a different internet. We have a couple of internet choices here at our house, and one works better in my office than the other. And it connected and then unconnected. Okay, good. I can see you guys. Hello everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you coming back this week. Last week I had to cancel Facebook Friday because mom duty called. I had all my kids home. They had Good Friday off from school, and I thought I could get it done, but they were begging to go do some stuff, so I threw caution to the wind and canceled Facebook Friday, and I do really appreciate you guys understanding. Hi, ladies. Thanks for joining me. So I have last week's projects for this week. I'm focusing on the retired list, and luckily everything that I am showing you today is still available. That's the struggle for demonstrators with the retired list, is that when it comes out, everything is while supplies last except for the stamp set. So sometimes that can be scary for us because we don't know if it's going to sell out or not. Before I get started, I wanted to tell you that I have 2 giveaways today. The projects are uploaded on my blog, as well as the project sheets, and I will upload them here on the Facebook page. And I am going to give away 2 of the products that I'm using today. The first one is the Sunburst Thinlits, and the second one is the Shooting Star Bundle, the framelits and the stamp set. So I told you I would double up this week on prizes since I had to skip out last week. And so if you guys want to enter to win these, hop over to my blog anytime after we're done and enter the raffle copter there that is at the bottom of the post. And I will raffle these off next week. Now, next week, Friday, my kids are off again here in San Antonio. We have something called Battle of the Flowers, which is part of our big annual Fiesta celebration. So if I do Facebook Friday next week, it probably will be on Thursday. So kind of keep an eye out for that, and I will let you know. All right, so let's get started. The first project I'm going to show you is a slider card. This is a really fun and different framelits set that I have not really played with much, and I was sad to see it go. And like I mentioned, it is one of the things that I am giving away on my blog. Okay, and also the Sunburst background. I wanted to include that too because that's one of my very favorite things we've had, and I'm really sad to see it go. So let's do the background first, and then we'll do the slider. Let's see if I have all my goodies here. And okay, so here is what this Sunburst Thinlit looks like. It's really kind of crazy. It's usually our framelits and thinlits come with a collection, but this one is all by itself, and it looks just like that. So I'm going to cut this out. Let me make some room on my table. And when I use my Big Shot, you guys, it shakes the camera, so I apologize. I'm going to set this on here. This is a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It is the size of a card front. And there are so many different things that you can do with this Thinlit. You can do, I've done a sunburst, I've done a sunflower, I've done all kinds of things. I actually have a PDF class that is available in my PDF store that uses this. All right, so you can see that I've cut it out on the Big Shot, and I'm going to pull all these little rays out. And you know what? I didn't pull out my adhesive. I got everything out but my adhesive, so I need to grab my Fast Fuse. I kept thinking about it, but I needed to get it, and then I never did. All right, so that's what it looks like. Let me grab my adhesive. Luckily, it's all right here. All right, now I'm going to adhere this just to a Whisper White card front. Hi, everybody. I see you all. I'm trying not to look because then I get distracted and forget what I'm saying. But I see you all. Thank you for joining me. Oops, out of the shot. So I'm just going to put some Fast Fuse kind of on the ends of each of these little sun rays. Do any of you have this Thinlit? It's a great one. Been out for a couple of years now. All right, so we're just going to adhere it right there. Now you're going to take that same Thinlit and cut out the same size, and you're going to do it in Rich Razzleberry, and you're going to do it in Melon Mambo, and you're going to do it in what's this color? Pacific Point. And instead of this part, now we're going to use these little guys that are falling out. And I've done it ahead of time to kind of help, because this is a little bit tedious. So let's see, let me pull out which ones I have. And we're going to do a couple. I'm going to show you. Let's see. So you're going to just kind of alternate. You'll pull those out, and you can make several cards with one cut of these because you're just going to use every third one. And I used the liquid glue and just a couple of little, whoop, that's too big. Good thing I have a paper towel right here. And just a little bit. Why is that coming out? Usually it won't come out at all because it's clogged. Not today. All right, so we're going to just put these in like this. We're going to move those into those grooves. And you're going to alternate colors as you go. Your fine tip glue pen would be good for this also. And you can see that they're sticking out, sticking over the edge because it was a little bit bigger. It was the same size, but some of them, it was off-centered a little bit, I guess. Maybe it was a little bit bigger, the piece that I cut. Yeah, you can see it was a little bit bigger here because I had some extra. But I like that because then I can make sure that it's going to be even with the edge here. So for the sake of the video, I went ahead and did one ahead of time because that would take a while. It's a little bit tedious. I guess I need to grab my scissors too. So after you've alternated all of those, just flip it over on the back. And you could use your paper trimmer for this too. You know, my cardstock probably was about 1/4 of an inch bigger than my card front. And I probably should change that in the directions because that way you have a little bit of wiggle room. So that just in case you cut it in a different way, one's not going to be too short. It's better to have too much than too little. All right. So there we have the background. Pretty cool, right? And that's the Sunburst Thinlit, and that is one of the prizes this week. All right, so now the second part, we're going to make the slider. And the slider framelits, let me show you the stamp set. They come with framelits that match all of these. You know, I didn't pull the whole set out, but it comes with several of them. I don't think it has all of them. And then this, and then it has one that just shoots across, straight across. But I'm going to use the round one today. Move my glue out of the way. I remembered to put the dogs out today. You guys will be glad. The UPS man is supposed to come. And so I remembered to put them out. Oops. All right, so here we have what it looks like. My camera's really close today. Let me see if I can pull that up. Well, I'll leave it. All right, so you're going to get this. These are the 3 pieces you're going to get. And the one that we don't need is this one. And that's kind of cool. Save it for another project. I like that. All right. Now, I got a piece of vellum. I wanted to center this on here, but I felt like it was a little bit too busy. So I decided to add some vellum. And you're going to want to use your dimensionals. And I'm going to put a dimensional in each corner. Like this. And put this down on your vellum. Vellum just kind of gives you a muted feel so that it's not so bright. See how it just kind of mutes that? All right, and now I'm gonna again, this card has a lot of dimension. Once we get that spinner in there, it's gonna be a really tall card. All right, did we get all those? There's that one. I'm just going to center it right there. All right, now this one's going to go in the middle, but before I do that, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and I wanted something big and bold, so I pulled out Friendly Wishes. This is also a set that is retiring, and I'm going to do You're the Best in Melon Mambo. Make sure I don't do it upside down like before. All right, now let's put some more dimensionals here. And this middle piece needs to be kind of sturdy. So I'm going to put quite a few dimensionals, well, 3, but leave room for the little spinner to go around, just like that in the middle. Okay, all right, now let's make the spinner, and you can see, like, you could put the hive in the middle and use the bee. You could put the world in the middle. The paper airplane could go around. It's really, really a cute set. But I decided to use this one. I like this one a lot. And I'm going to, I stamped it in basic black, and I'm going to color it with the watercolor pencils. And I'm going to do it quickly. I'm not going to go real slow because I don't want you guys to sit there for 10 minutes watching me color. But our watercolor pencils are really fun if you haven't played with them yet. They are a great way to get color into the places that you want without making a big mess. So I'm using Melon Mambo, Rich Razzleberry, and if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber this month, you've got a few pencils in your pack, in your kit. That was fun, a fun little surprise. Let's see, oh, what other color? Pacific Point. Now there is, you know, some discussion. Should I color one color and then do my aqua painter, and then color another color and do my aqua painter? It's really up to you. You do have to be careful when you are using your aqua painter that it's not too wet. That seems to be what gets me in trouble. So as long as you kind of go slow and stay in those lines. Gosh, mine is still pretty wet. Now when I go back to do these stars here in a second, I've got to be really careful. And typically I would just let this sit and dry for a few minutes. I wonder if I could reach my heat tool, because that will dry it too. So this is an aqua painter. You could also use a blender pen. All right, so let's see, there are those colors. Let's do Daffodil Delight. One word of caution that when you are using your watercolor pencils and your basic black, I find that the basic black does not smear at all with all of the colors except for Daffodil Delight, this yellow. So I make sure to heat set my ink before I use the yellow. That's why I had already stamped it. Or you can just, you know, let it sit there and dry for a while, because it will smear that black, but the others don't. I don't know about you guys. If you experience that same thing, you've got to be really careful with the yellow. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, of course, this is a shooting star, so it needs a little shimmer. So let's take our Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is not retiring, and neither are the watercolor pencils. Thank goodness. Add that right there. All right. Now, a little fussy cutting. I know, you guys, some of you are going to grumble, and I don't have my tiny scissors. Tiny scissors are definitely the best when you're fussy cutting. And just kind of stay on the outside of the black line. I've told you guys this before. Stay on the outside of the black line. Go around slowly, turning your paper, not your scissors. I don't know why that makes a difference, but it really does. So I just kind of rotate my paper in. And if you stay on the outside of the black line, the eye will only see the black line and not that white on the outside that may not be as smooth as we'd like it to be. So you guys, I mentioned that the retired list has come out. Stampin' Up! Releases their retired list every spring, and everything is while supplies last, except for stamp sets, and they will guarantee those until, I believe it's the 3rd week of May. So if there's anything that you have to have, order sooner than later, because those things disappear quickly. All right, so now to do your spinner, you can use 2 things. You can use pennies or you can use washers. And I went to look for washers in my husband's toolbox, and I walked away because it was a giant mess. So we're going to use pennies. And I'm actually going to use 2 dimensionals. I'm going to put 2 right there. We're going to stick these together. This is like an old school technique. And then put a dimensional on top of the penny and put your star here. And I found that the star almost didn't cover up that penny, but I think it's good enough. It was just almost close enough where you could see the penny. And then you take those two and you slide this bottom one under this piece of white cardstock. Let's see if I can get it in there. Lift this one up. There we go. And there it slides around like that. Yay, how fun. Kids love this. Kids and adults, but kids really love this when they can make it go around. All right, so the last thing I did to finish off my card is some Melon Mambo thick baker's twine. And if you are a baker's twine addict like me, make sure you order because almost all of our baker's twine is retiring. Now, yes, there is some baker's twine in the new catalog, but not this thick stuff. I really like this thick stuff, and I really like Melon Mambo. All right, there you have it. So there's our first project. Hope you guys like it. It's fun and interactive card. Really kind of an advanced technique, not simple, but not terribly difficult either. I think it's really fun. Okay, so let me move all my stuff out of the way and we'll move on to the next project. How many of you have already ordered some retiring stuff that you had to have before it left? I know I've actually put in several orders because I keep thinking of something else that I need before it's gone. I was planning on doing a Nailed It class for May, but unfortunately it's retiring and the framelits are already sold out. So I'm planning something with the Nailed It bundle for those of you that do have the set. So stay tuned for that. I've been working yesterday and today on my Friday classes. I mean my May classes, and I'll announce all that hopefully next week. Okay, so the next one is the Baker's Box. And the Baker's Box is also a framelit that I love. You guys know I love 3D projects. Candy holders, treat containers, all of that. So this is the Baker's Box. And I can't believe, this and the Kirby Keepsake, I cannot believe that they're retiring them. But so anyways, I went ahead and cut them out. You need 2, all right? And that's what it looks like, so cut out 2. And you really need to cut your paper at about 6 inches, so you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock for this. I wish you guys could see my rabbit. I don't know what she's doing, but she's in here, and she looks like she's chasing something. I don't know what it is. It's silly. Okay, so this is the stamp set that matches, that coordinates, and it's called Homemade for You. And for me, you guys know I give our teachers a lot of stuff, so I really am sad to see this one go too. Okay, so we're going to stamp it. If I can find my ink, here's my ink. You know, let me move my Big Shot out of the way. It's in the way. I don't think we're going to need it again. All right, so the little polka dots, like this. And I'm going to stamp the polka dots in this bottom section. Can you guys see? I got to make sure I'm in the frame. Yes, you need the Baker's Box. I can see some of you saying, It's a good one, and I think it goes together easily. You know, our window box is a little tricky to put together, but this Baker's Box, I think, is pretty simple. All right, I like to use tear and tape for this because the tabs are skinny, so tear and tape is just the right width for it. Fast Fuse is fine for your 3D projects, but when the tabs are skinny, Fast Fuse can just get adhesive everywhere. All right, let me fold that little piece in. Seems to be a little bit too long. All right, we're going to overlap like this, making sure you match that top edge and the bottom edge. And then I'm going to put some more tear and tape. Oops. Right here. You know, I'm watching comments on my phone. I hope you guys aren't saying stuff terribly important. I'm trying to watch, but I will go back and answer any questions that you have in a little while or after I I don't want to bore you by just standing here reading through all the comments. All right, so now you have these two together and you've put the tear and tape here. So fold these tabs like this, and then you can just fold that in half, and these will lay down, and it'll be exactly where it's supposed to be, like that. You can see, there it is. All right, so let's burnish these lines. This line's going to need to come in, and this line's going to come in like that. Probably should have done that before we folded it up, but I never remember to do that. I always have to do it afterwards. All right, there's also a super tricky little way to fold these in, but I don't trust just a folded bottom. No way. So I have to use adhesive on the bottom. Yes, Sandy, I see you're saying, I know, the Baker's Box is a good one. It's really good. All right, so fold that. And a little bit of tear and tape over here. I always am looking for 3D possibilities. I really enjoy, I mean, I like making cards too, but I really like doing 3D projects. Today, in fact, my mail lady came to pick up all of my succulent, my greenhouse garden class to go, and I left her some treats and some of the 3D projects that I've made. And I love to leave her things. Okay, so did you see, I just put it together at the bottom, just folding this in like a milk carton, and we're going to use a gold binder clip. Now, it's funny, when I was planning this project, I actually went back to look at what I had done with it before, and I actually cased myself. This is kind of a version of something we did at Stamp Club when this box first came out. All right, so I'm using this right here. Bought this just for you. So if you're not a baker, don't worry, you don't need to bake. You can just buy some cookies and put them in there. Bought this just for you. And then I'm using Crazy About You, which is a really good set. This matches a punch I'm going to show you in a second. And it's actually two cases full of stamps. I didn't pull the other one out, but it's retiring too. So we're going to use that flower. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. Put it really close to the edge, because this one, sometimes you have to turn the punch. Here's the punch that matches. All right, now, see how that lines up? Well, that made me look really smart, because I just put it right on there. Boop. I hope you guys saw that. Look how nice it matches up. To be honest with you, usually I have to turn it, because I can't find how it goes. So, just know that if you're doing this, and you have a hard time lining it up, you are not the only one. I actually have had a customer tell me that the punch didn't match the flower because it's so hard to match up sometimes, or she didn't realize she had to turn it. She thought that it didn't match. So I get it. So don't feel guilty if you have a hard time with that one. Now this is a 1 3/8 circle. I'm just going to cut this one out. And then ahead of time, I cut out a little, I don't know, I call that a starburst too. This is one of the framelits that comes with it. So I already cut that out in Early Espresso. And let's use some dimensionals. I'm down to the end of my dimensionals, so I have to cut along this edge. Do you guys use the edges of your dimensionals? Let's see like this? You just cut them. I like the edges because they're skinny. When you have skinny things that you need to put on with dimensionals, that's the best part. We have new tiny dimensionals coming in the new catalog. I can't wait for those. Okay, so now let's see. Let me remind myself what I did. Okay, yes. So that's there. And then we're going to put this on the clip. And I don't like to make the top of my boxes sealed, closed, because then they have to tear your project open. But this way they can just take that off. Because when they tear it, then it's not cute anymore, and they're just going to throw it in the trash, and we don't want that. We want them to have it sitting out somewhere where they can look at it and say, oh my gosh, look how cute. Okay, this is another thick retiring twine, thick Baker's Twine Whisper White. I forgot to mention that if you want to put in an order this week, you can use the hostess code that's listed on the project sheets, and I'll send you a packet of twine. I don't know which one I'll send you, because I don't want to promise them because they're retiring. I never know what will be there when I go to order. But if you use that hostess code, I'll send you some twine for free. All right, a glue dot. And there you have it. All right. I love when I get to do Facebook Live because then I have 2 each of the projects ready to gift. I have 2 done. Yay. All right. So in review, that was Homemade for You and Crazy About You. Those are good. And the Baker's Box. You need the Baker's Box. I'm telling you. You will be sorry if you don't get it and it goes away. If you go look on Pinterest, there are a ton of things. They're really good. I use them at Halloween too in the fall to make different Halloween treats. They're very versatile. Okay, the next one, the last one today is this cute apple pie box. And I am using the Fruit Stand DSP, which I'm a little sad about because I never really got to use it for a class this year. And it's so pretty. It's good for this time of the year, spring and summer. Kind of fresh and fun. That's my favorite in the whole pack. And the stripes too. Seems like my favorites are always on the back, you know, like it can't be 2 separate pages. So then I hoard one piece because I like both the patterns. So anyways, here is all the paper. You can see all these different fruits. And it's called Fruit Stand Designer Series paper. And the coordinating stamp set is called Fresh Fruit. And it's 2-step stamping where you do the inside and then an outer line. And what was I inspired by? But these things. I found them at our local grocery store. We, here in South Texas, go to H-E-B. That's our grocery store. It was over with like the Little Debbie snacks. And I was like, yum, mini apple pies, delicious. So look, it's just a little snack size apple pie. Yum. I haven't eaten them. I'm trying to be good. So anyways, inside my box is 2 of them. So 2 of them will fit in this box. And you might already recognize the box. This is from the gift box punch board. That I can't believe is retiring, and it's on sale too. Some of this retired stuff, I've meant to mention that, is really on sale a lot. The gift box punch board is only $12. That is incredible. That is a steal. Here it is, the gift box punch board, and if you haven't used it yet, you can see right here, it'll tell you all the sizes. So if you want your box to be 2.5 by 2.5 by 2.5, here's the paper you use and the start line and the diagonal line. So you can always use that as a reference, or you can just go to Pinterest and type in Stampin' Up! Gift box punch board, and your mind will be blown because there's like 1,000 things out there. Ah, sorry, I'm really thirsty. All right, so we're making the one that's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. So an 8 by 8 piece of cardstock. And this is Cucumber Crush. I'm having a little pity party for retiring Cucumber Crush. It is my all-time favorite green. I think it needs to replace Old Olive in our Brights family because it is a much better bright green than Old Olive is. And I like Old Olive, but I don't think it belongs in the Brights. So if you love Cucumber Crush, I know the ink refill's gone already, but you need to stock up on the cardstock. All right, so what it tells us, let's look at it again. It says that we're going to use the L start line, which is large, right here. And then we're going to do our diagonal line on the S line. So you're like, what in the world does that mean? If you haven't used this punch board, I know. It's a little bit confusing at first. But then you realize it's not confusing at all. So we're gonna line this up with the L, the large line it said, okay? We're gonna punch, and we're gonna take this scoring tool that comes with it and go across that score line and across this scoring line. Then it says the diagonal line needs to be on that S line, so that's that right there, okay? And then you're gonna turn to the next side and repeat. Line it up at the large line, slowly score it. I can't tell you how many times I've rushed and gone and scratched my paper. All right, let's see, did I punch? Yep, okay. So now let's do it. Oh, wait, I forgot the diagonal line. So come back, it's the S line right there. See how it meets between those score lines? All right, turn it again. Punch, we're lining it up at the L. Do the horizontal, vertical, and the S. And one more, same thing, the L, horizontal score line, vertical score line, and the S. Okay, so whoops, forgot to punch. There we go. Now, we need to go in and punch here. So you can see each side has one punch. Well, we need to make it 2 punches. And you're just going to line those little lines up right there. So punch, punch. It really is easy. My problem with the punch board is that I start talking or start thinking about something else and I forget what I'm doing and not paying attention. So you just got to go slow and think about it. It's just repetitive what you're doing. Now we're going to create a little clasp up here like this, and it has a punch behind this punch that creates a little clasp. Isn't that neat? We don't have anything else that makes a clasp like that. All right, now we are done. Oh, if I don't put this in here now, I'll lose it. It goes right here. There you go. Okay, so now let's just burnish all these lines. Go through here and fold, fold, fold. Fold, fold, fold. Get them all burnished. Okay, did I get them? Oh, nope, this one and this one. Now, these diagonal ones are going to come in like this. It's kind of like a pleat, if you know what a pleat is in fabric. It's like a pleat or a tuck. And when the box folds up, those go in like that. And sometimes I've gone so far as to adhere them to the sides so that my box will stay a box. But it's really not necessary. See what I'm saying? Like that. So it opens like that. But let's see, where are my apple pies? We'll put the apple pies in there because it's easier to work with when it has something in it. All right, so let's close these up. I'm going to start with these guys. I'm going to clasp them. This would be a great teacher appreciation gift. Teacher appreciation is the first week of May. I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do. I always like to do something every day that week. So now maybe this will be one. All right, there's our box. Doesn't it look fancy? It looks very professional. I'm always impressed with the boxes that I make with the punch boards. All right, I've cut 2 pieces of DSP. The measurements are in the project sheet, so check it if you want those measurements. This is the apple paper, and the colors are weird on here. I had to look on the back. It says, what did it tell me? I had a hard time. Cucumber Crush and Pear Pizzazz. You guys know that the colors are always listed here on the back of the DSP. So both colors looked a little odd, but then once I got it all together, it looked okay. Sometimes when Stampin' Up! Makes their papers, their artists actually like watercolor these prints. And so, you know, when you watercolor, color gets washed out and it's different shades of that color. So I think that's what it is with these papers. So I'm making a belly band, and I just wrapped it around and I pinched there on the sides to get them to match up. And I'm going to put a little adhesive, a little fast fuse right there. That way that can just slide off like that, okay? Again, we don't want them tearing our beautiful creations apart. All right, and here's that other paper that I loved. And I'm going to put a little bit of this right here because I want it to stay in the middle. But we don't need to put too much. You could adhere this at the beginning on top of the other one and then just wrap them all at once. If you weren't talking constantly like I was, maybe you will think of that. All right, there we have it. And this is actually Watermelon Wonder. It looks real red. And I'm going to use this. This is the Watermelon Wonder mini striped ribbon. Yes, it is retiring. Wrap it around. Let's make a bow. The key to making a bow is to go slow. Don't pull it tight. And you can see this right here needs to be flipped over. You want to keep those like that. So before you pull them through, make sure that they are flat against each other, and then you can play around with them and then pull it tight once you have it. All right, so there's our gift box. Now let's make our tag. I'm going to use the flowers. There wasn't an apple stamp in that set. There's apple paper, but not apple stamp. So I decided to use the, well, where is it? Right here. I decided to use the flower, the little flower. And I'm going to use my tag that I cut with this, and I can't remember what it's called, Tags and Labels Framelits Retiring also, you guys. These are great. I'm mentoring some college students right now that are trying to start their own business. And they came over this morning and they wanted to make some tags. Or they needed some tags and they were going to go buy some. And I said, hey, let me show you this framelit. It comes in all these different sizes. They're nesting. And they were so impressed. They'd never seen anything like it. So we cut them some tags. Okay, so now I did the solid part in Daffodil Delight. I'm going to do the outline part in Daffodil Delight also. And you have to kind of see where it goes. I think I had it right the first time. If you rotate it around, that's the best part of these photopolymers. Yep. All right. Right on top. And then in the center is a little tiny dot with Early Espresso. And I'm going to do it 3 times because 1 isn't big enough. There we go. And a thank you right across the bottom. There we go. Now, excuse me. Now I'm going to use my 1/8 inch handheld punch. This is not retiring, thank goodness. And just make a little hole. Oh my gosh, I've realized that I have used thick baker's twine on all 3 projects. Isn't that funny? I love it. It's the best. It's the very best. Okay, so we're going to tie this around the bow that we've already tied. Let's pull that up a little bit. And like that. And this is going to have 2 bows. One in the Cucumber Crush thick baker's twine and one in the Watermelon Wonder striped ribbon. And there you have it. All right, so, you know, you don't have to make homemade things, right? You can go buy cute little apple pies or apple cookies or whatever at your grocery store and put them in this box. Isn't that cool? It doesn't take me very long, maybe 5 minutes to make those. You could make those quickly if you wanted to make a bunch of them to send to school next week or the first week of May. Those would be really cute. All right, so that's our 3rd project today, you guys. I hope you liked them. Let me pull them all back out so we can look at them one more time. Where did my cards go? Let's see. Here they are. The spinner card, the box, and the baker's box. There you go. Remember, the prizes this week, when you go to my blog, there is something called a raffle copter, which is, oh, here they are, which is just a way to collect entries. And all you have to do is give me your email address and make sure you've joined my email list. And this time next week, I will draw 2 winners, one for the Sunburst Thinlits, which made this background, and one for the Sliding Star Bundle, which is this stamp set and these framelits. So make sure you hop over there. It's already up. And as soon as the video is done, I will upload everything here on the Facebook group too. So thanks, you guys, for joining me. Remember, next week, Friday, my kids will be home again. So I'm going to potentially try to do Facebook Thursday next week and talk to you about a new product that's going to be available next month called the Eastern Palace. I hope you will join me. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. Thanks again. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.